All right, everybody, welcome to Bothell Star League. This is the time for the elimination rounds to determine a champion. We got two brackets going on right now. This is the upper championship bracket, and then we also have the lower bracket, kind of a consolation bracket. So all players are still in the tournament at this point. It's just the first round, but if you are eliminated, if you do lose a series in this game, in this time of the tournament, you will be eliminated from the tournament. So it's no more round robin. This is the first match. This is Tricksy versus myself, Turdy. See, it's a PvP. Tricksy did very, very well to get into the upper division here, pulling off a pretty big upset against G-Finny in a really close best of three. It was a lot of fun to watch. If you haven't seen that game, check it out on BSL YouTube channel. Really good best of three. Saw some interesting cheeses. Really good play overall, but Tricksy was able to pull it out. Pretty good upset there. See that this is Zelnaga Fortress?
No, it's Tal'darim Altar.
I can't remember the name of this map actually.
Tal'darim Altar.
I don't know why I can't think of it, but anyways, we spawned pretty close positions here, pretty much as close as you can get. But even though they're close positions, they're still pretty far away. See Tricksy actually doing a pretty good play here. It's pretty standard to wall off here and protect the second base immediately. You can see that I'm not doing that at all. I don't know why I don't do that. I just haven't practiced doing that. I did get my first gas a little bit earlier than Tricksy, but we did see that Tricksy fell a little bit behind, sent out a really early scout. So I'm pretty much one probe ahead right now. Not quite sure how much I saw here. So I do see that he's going for the quick wall in, which, like I said, is a good play. You can defend your second base pretty easily there. I do have my cybernetics core. We're both starting about the same time, so pretty standard right now. Sosu Tricksy is also on one gas, just starting his second gas right now. Trying to do a little bit more scouting here. See, this wall off is pretty close to completion. There's one hole here, but it's pretty necessary to let troops in and out. If it's not against Zerg, it's not really necessary to do a complete wall off. You can just not afraid of any sort of run by or anything like that. See Tricksy going for a really fast robo here. So you're gonna have pretty strong army composition early because of that early robo facility. See, I just have one more gateway coming out. Starting my second gas. Just have one zealot out here for scouting pretty much to see if there's any sort of early pressure coming. Quite sure where this probe's going. I haven't rallied to the base even though I already know where Tricksy is, so I'm not sure why I did that. Two zealots out, so deciding to go for early zealot pressure here. Or maybe not early zealot pressure, but gonna go for a different tech route. I have two gases, but unfortunately I'm only mining from one right now. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Tricksy's probe did get a run by here, so it's actually pretty good sneak in. I ran right past all my probes. Luckily I had to get a stock route pretty quick. Not able to do any more scouting. And I do wait here for a second before starting my Twilight Council, which is my tech. See, Tricksy is getting out an Immortal real quick. He's mining pretty much full gas. He's missing one worker on that gas. I still haven't started mining my other gas yet. This is kind of a standard build I do against Zerg at least. I usually just get one gas and do a bunch of zealots. It's kind of cheesy, but kills a lot off Zerglings so easily. The only problem is that they go roach, but this is kind of the approach I'm taking to this game. Is I'm just going to pump out tons of zealots and try to just overwhelm any sort of force that Tricksy has. And I usually go for a pretty quick charge here. You can see I don't have quite enough gas yet, so I'm starting to mine from my second gas in order to get that out a little quicker. Do you see another gateway down for Tricksy? I'm trying to see what the unit composition is. So you can see I have 5 zealots, 2 stalkers. He has 2 stalkers, a sentry, and an immortal. I am leading in probes a little bit, so my probe production is just a little bit better. Don't see any sort of second base for either of us yet. I do put a pylon on the high ground just to be able to warp in units either above or below, behind an army if necessary. And I do get a sentry out, but you can see my zealot count is getting pretty high. 2 immortals, so that's going to be really strong. If he's able to micro that against me, it's going to pretty much run me away. Also, the sentry is going to be pretty important. Only has 1 force field right now, but force field against zealots is pretty good. So I try to hide my tech, or at least not my tech, but the route I'm going as much as possible. So I just send out a pretty standard zealot stalker here in order not to reveal my whole army. I do see Tricksy has 1 observer, and it's right here. So he hasn't seen what I have yet. I think he will if this just goes right up to my base. He's going to see that I have a ton of zealots here. And here I do start my second base a little bit before. Tricksy does see pretty much my whole army here. For some reason, I send up a couple zealots here to try to start taking down these rocks. Tricksy decided to go for attack here. He thinks my army is pretty weak, and with this unit composition, it is pretty weak actually. Those 2 immortals are going to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, he's splitting up his army a little bit too much here. I'm going to be able to pick off these stalkers pretty easily just because they're all on the line here. For some reason I put all my zealots on the edge. That's not going to be very useful at all. Not exactly sure who casted those force fields. Looks like I did actually, in order to try to split up those immortals from the rest of these stalkers. It actually works very, very well. I'm able to pick off all those stalkers, just leaving me with a few immortals to deal with. And I've warped in a few more zealots here. I'm on 5 gateways, so that's really easy to warp in a bunch of units. And I basically crush this army in the first battle here. Do you see Tricksy going for a Nexus? Gonna have to try to catch up a little bit economically. See my probe transfer right now. The nice thing about this build is that it's really just you get a lot of minerals out early because you're not having to focus on tech and gas. So it makes it a little bit easier to expand. You can see I cleared out the rocks for the next expansion coming up. I can't remember how soon I make this, but Tricksy is able to see pretty much everywhere I go here because of this observer. That's definitely the danger of this tech route that I go, because I don't have any sort of scouting at all. I don't even get a hallucination, which might be smart in this case, because I could like hallucinate a phoenix or something at least to do a little bit of scouting, but that's not the case. I like to live a little dangerously. See, I put down a forge. I believe, yeah. So I go for a second forge here. Right? So I want to do a lot of quick upgrades, upgrading weapons and shields at the same time, just to make this zealot army so strong. Basically, with armor upgrades, they can tank a lot of damage. I do see a proxy pylon here from Tricksy for his next attack. Yeah, you can see here I don't have any notion of what Tricksy's doing at all. My scouting is very, very poor. But I am starting my 3rd Nexus. I know because of that first battle that I'm way ahead. I'm just trying to get a little bit more ahead here. See, Tricksy just transferring probes right now. Doesn't really have too strong of an army here. Neither do I actually. Only 13 zealots, and Tricksy does have a void ray. I don't remember. I don't remember seeing that in the game at all. I don't know if it didn't come into play or not. I don't remember that, but regardless, that's a good against zealots. And oh, it looks like I did get in a dark shrine somewhere, so probably my favorite tech structure here. Start warping in Dark Templars somewhere. So here is the play I like to do. I like to warp in the Dark Templar over here just to see if there's any base. And if there is a base, it's easy to kill workers pretty immediately. You can see on the supply tab that Trixie's actually catching up. I had like a 20 or 30 supply lead after I won that battle, the first battle, but Trixie is coming back. You can see more researching weapons and armor at the same time. Trixie does have a Twilight Council out, but not doing any upgrades. He is making the right play going for Void Rays here, knowing that I'm a very heavy Zealot army. And Tricksy is coming back. Getting out another observer, so that's going to be really nice in order to do some scouting. Just have a couple observers. I'm not sure what this dark saw. Pretty much nothing. He's just kind of guarding the bottom of the base, so I'll be able to tell whether right when Trixie's coming in for an attack. This zealot, you can see that from the scouting pattern, is checking all the bases, make sure there's no hidden base. It's usually a pretty good tactic to try to hide a base. Interesting pylon location here. I'm not sure what that's for. I do have my third base up, but no workers mining yet. I should transfer some of these over, I guess, because these mineral patches are running a bit low. And we do see Tricksy is finally putting down a robotics facility, so he's going to start getting a little bit of Colossus. Here it is. Nope, a second robo. I don't know where that robotics bay is. Oh, right next to it, sorry. So there's a robo bay. He's going to start getting Colossus out off 2 robo. So that's going to be really strong, particularly against the zealot heavy army. I do have some sentries, but once Colossus are out, those are gonna, any sort of force fields are gonna be negated so quickly because the Colossus can just crush them. Do get a transfer here, and I am starting to get a lot healthier supply lead now. The third base is kicking in, and also I believe I have more. Yeah, oh, we're actually tied for probes, so probe count is even, but I'm able to mine a little bit more on these fresh patches. You can see Trixie's getting mined out pretty soon. Was supply block there for a second. A couple more immortals out, so he has 3 immortals. You can see he's going for blink and getting his first Colossus out. And 2 more gateways going up as well, so he's starting to macro up a little bit. I don't think he actually has any upgrades right now, so he's at 0-0 upgrades, and I'm just finishing my second round armor and weapons, so that's obviously going to help me so much against any sort of attack that Tricksy does. You can see he has at least 2 observers around watching my base. I'm just warping in more zealots. So with those armor upgrades, you can see zealot armor is 3 now, so they're going to be able to tank so much damage. Moving up for an attack here. That's a couple pages worth of zealots. So a little bit cheesy low tier, but it seems like this unit composition should work pretty well, particularly because I won that first battle. I know I'm ahead still. I do see the Void Ray here. Still, like I said, I don't remember, but you can see I respawn by warping in a bunch of stalkers immediately. I know if he has too many Void Rays, again because my scouting is so poor, if he just built a bunch of Void Rays, I'd pretty much be dead in the water here. I do have an observer out, but I haven't used it very well at all. I haven't done any scouting of his base. Second observer out. The fear was that he was going Dark Templars, and I didn't have any detection. So I pumped out a couple